It is so important for us as travel healthcare workers to work with 3 companies, to have lots of jobs and opportunities. But have you ever wondered how and when to have that conversation with each of the recruiters? Find out on this edition of Say This, Not That. The best time to have the conversation with each of your recruiters about the fact that you're going to be working with multiple recruiters as a traveler is going to be on the very first conversation. I think of the first conversation with a recruiter as the interview. You're making sure you guys have the same values, you work together the same way, that it's a good fit. You don't have to work with a recruiter just because you have one conversation. That's really your way to feel it out, because every recruiter works a little bit differently. Now, most recruiters are going to be completely fine with this. If they're not and they make you feel guilty, that is a big red flag actually, because recruiters know if they were a traveler and they were in our shoes, they for sure would be working with more than one company. It's really important. Companies have different jobs, they pay different. You should be doing it, so don't feel guilty about that. But in that first conversation, what you're going to want to do is don't say this. I work with 3 recruiters, or I work with 5 recruiters, take it or leave it. Sometimes we can be a little bit aggressive with our recruiters in that first conversation. Let's just put ourselves in the recruiter's shoes for 1 second. What they want to know is that if they spend time on us, looking for jobs, calling us, getting to know us, is there a potential that it's worth their time? What they're afraid of is that we might be working with them just to hear about jobs, to take it back to another recruiter, and we're not really giving them a fair chance. So if we know that, we can say that part of the conversation from the very beginning. So what you do want to say is, hey recruiter, I just want to make sure that we work the same way. So as we're getting to know each other, I want you to know that my go-to is to have 3 recruiters that I really like and respect, that I work with in between every assignment. Now, me saying that, I want you to know that I will respect each of you. I'm not going to be stealing your jobs and taking them to another recruiter or vice versa. And I'll expect all of you just to pay me the most you can up front. I'm not going to pit you guys against each other to try to get a better rate. You guys are going to be my friends, my professional peers in this, but I want to make sure that you're okay with that and that you know it up front. And probably the response you get will be like, yeah, that is no problem at all. As long as there's good communication and I know where you're getting submitted to, this will be totally great. Now you're on the same page and there's no awkwardness later when you have a recruiter submitting you to other jobs.